And and really, like, one of the things that's just not super obvious is just the fact that I know for me, I have always learned more from losing than I have from winning. And it's like, dude, you win, you celebrate, you high five each other, man. You go on, and you don't necessarily stop to think about what did I do to win. But man, when you lose and you
Mm-hmm.
have your tail tucked between your legs and you got to
Mm-hmm.
think about, man, what did I do? I mean, you learn so much from losing, and
Yeah.
then that makes you stronger.
Cool.
Stronger as a.
So, ready?
Let's do it.
What's up, guys? I'm
Yep.
Lionel the Builder, back again with another episode. I'm super excited here to announce an amazing guest. He is the executive director of Innovate Hampton Roads, a company that is all about helping out the local startup ecosystem. He's somewhat of a local celebrity in the area, and someone who has a lot of knowledge in business and the startup space, how to go from point A to point B, C, D, E, F, and beyond. He also is a co-host of the Fervent 4 show. Please give a round of applause, everyone, and welcome Tim Ryan.
Thanks, man.
Woo!
Appreciate it. Yeah.
So please give a bit of your background and what brought you into the startup scene and made you so interested in helping businesses grow.
Yeah. So long ago, the Air Force brought me to the Hampton Roads area, and I had one chance to watch my kids grow up. So I was a very, very new dad at that point. Decided to leave the Air Force, and had the opportunity to become a DoD contractor. Many of those in this area. While I was doing that, I decided to go to business school at William & Mary. And while I was at business school, I was like, gosh, yeah, I could start my own business. I can help a technical person or a skilled person put a business around their skill. And likewise, I can take a general business owner and help them with the technical side. So I can translate between the two languages, between tech and business, which not a lot of people can do. And I thought, I was like, hey, that's my business model. Start with startups and help them grow, and then we're gonna ride off to the sunset and help everyone get to become super successful.
Mm-hmm. What is it about startups that attracted you?
The fact that they're so nimble and lean, and that they can just move really, really fast. So like coming from the Air Force, and it's just really, really slow, and just legacy stuff that is decades, years old. Same holds true in terms of like the company that I came from. Yeah, it's just really, really slow in terms of like, and I wanted to have a little bit more control of my destiny and be able to do the things that I wanted to do. And startups, you can do it.
Mm-hmm. So going to business school, I just imagine you could have kind of ended up anywhere, and it was like up to you to say, okay, I'm gonna help startups, which I think probably needed the most. Probably need that playbook, because I just imagine there being a business playbook, and why reinvent the wheel if you have the training. I noticed that a lot of times. People who I know who are trying to do things, maybe just out here winging it, trying to figure it out on their own.
Yeah.
But I think that like that's huge. Talking to someone who actually knows. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, man. There's pluses and minuses to it. I think like I could argue that whatever the cost of tuition was for me, if you just take that, start a business, and then if it goes to zero, the amount that you would learn from taking that money and taking it to zero, dude, you would learn so much. I mean, but at the same time, I learned a lot at William & Mary as well. Yeah, but the big thing for me is it gave me the not necessarily courage, but it gave me the skills that I needed to just say, yeah, I can go out there and do it. I mean, I'm never going to be an accountant that's preparing financial statements or anything like that, but I can certainly read them and do all those things. So it helped prepare me for that, and I just love an underdog story too, man. I love the scrappiness of founders. They just put their head down and just get after it.
Right. Same here. I don't know what it is about me. I just have to be in something that's exciting.
Yeah.
I could work anywhere where I'm just another, wheel in the system.
Yeah.
And it's just like life. I'm like at my happiest when things are slightly uncertain, right?
And like that's the thing, man. Like if you want to be a founder or if you're an entrepreneur, you have to be an optimist. Because, dude, if you're gonna go into it with a pessimistic outlook, dude,
You're done.
you're hurting. And like to be able to work with hundreds of founders and thousands of founders over the course of the last 13, 14 years, where everybody is changing the world in their own special way and believes that they can change the world, dude. If there's no better place to be working in and be a part of, man, it's super cool.
Yeah, I agree. So, what are some of the things that you say you see wrong often? Like,
Yeah.
what is some common mistakes that people make?
Well, skipping steps. I joke a lot, man, that you got to take the stairs to get to the top. You can't take the elevator.
Mm,
And so many people want to skip steps, and it's like, man, you got to take your lumps, you got to get your reps in, and
right.
you got to grind. And like, so like, for example, it'd be like, oh man, I'm not a salesperson, I don't want to sell, I'm just going to hire someone to do my sales for me. It's like, dude, you're the founder of your company, you will always be the number one salesperson, because you understand the problem better than anyone, you know the solution better than anyone, you understand the culture, and you have the drive within you. So like, you have to be the salesperson.
Mm,
You can't skip that step and think that you can just hire someone and pay them a commission or whatever to do the sales
yeah,
for you.
'cause they're not going to do it as well as you would.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
That's a good point. What's another?
Uh, well, I mean, the tricky one, like non-technical co-founders, I mean, it's not impossible, and you can certainly do it. But like, they'll go into hiring like overseas tech talent, and they have no idea like what they're doing. They have no idea what questions to ask,
Mm,
and they just get railroaded.
sure.
And that breaks my heart when I see that.
I
Like,
hear about that a lot.
oh, dude, it kills me.
Yeah, because it's cheaper overseas, but then you definitely have to have a guy over here managing
Yeah.
them.
And then, are you going to get the source code? Is it going to be documented properly? Yeah, and so much of it is like, you have to spell out the requirement details so specifically, because they're only going to build whatever it is that you tell them to build. And if you don't think through the whole process,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, something as simple as like, dude, there's no way to reset my password. Well, you didn't ask for that. It was just
Right.
like, yeah, but dude, that's like part of everything these
Right,
days.
right,
But
right.
like, that's the kind of amount of detail that you need to think about.
Mhm.
And if you don't think about it, then it's a change request, or you got to pay more money, and then they'll hold it hostage until you pay that. It's just, I've
Mhm.
seen so many nightmares about it.
Man. Yeah, and there's a saying too, like if you tell us to build a light switch, we're gonna do on, but you won't be able to turn it off.
I've not
Until you
heard that,
ask
but
us
that,
to
yeah,
turn
that's
it
a good
off.
point.
Yeah. So, and why do you think it is that people feel drawn, like being a CEO? I'm going to be a founder. I have this great idea, and I'm going to skip steps. In your opinion, where do you think that comes from?
Well, I think that everyone is pretty self-confident that they're going to be successful. Um, Everyone's got their eye on the prize, man. They want to get to that. They want to get there as quickly as they can.
True.
Um,
It's less fun or exciting.
and and really, like, one of the things that's just not super obvious is just the fact that I know for me, I have always learned more from losing than I have from winning. And it's like, dude, you win, you celebrate, you high five each other, man. You go on, and you don't necessarily stop to think about what did I do to win. But man, when you lose and you have your tail tucked between your legs, and you got to think about, man, what did I do? I mean, you learn so much from losing, and then that makes you stronger as a founder, stronger as a leading your team. And like, dude, I look back at some of this, like things that I would go after, to be with potential customers or whatever, and we wouldn't get it. And it was if I really had to look deep within myself, man, we weren't ready. And they saw that, and I had to accept the fact. And I was like, man, I wasn't ready, but now I am.
Right. Those L's lead you
Oh,
to being ready.
they hurt at the time, man. But
Yeah. Gotta get
it's important.
Yeah, I've taken a few L's on
You got
mine,
it.
and yeah, I think that's definitely made me the person I am today, and I'm sure that I'm gonna take more in the future.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for it. I
Yeah.
signed up
Yeah.
for that. That's like the life that I live
100%.
as a person who just out here trying
Yeah.
to make stuff happen. And our following too, a lot of them it's mostly tech guys, founders within this current landscape. everyone has to be a freelancer or an agency of some sort.
Yeah.
So the business advice that there is a playbook out there to follow to growing your business, certain pieces that you need is definitely going to resonate.
Yeah. Well, and to that, man, like the thing that I see on the tech side is like you just got to go pencils down on, wherever you're at, with whatever major release that you're going to have. And like, I see so many people string along. Oh, we can add this feature, and then like, dude, it doesn't get released, and then opportunity passes by, and you
Right.
didn't do anything. Where it's like
MVP.
just get it out, get it out.
True. Yeah, there's so many great software as a service ideas out there that get overcooked.
Yeah. And
say.
the thing is, man, like that I don't know if a lot of people realize or think about is like technology and software is like one of the things that it's accepted it's never going to be perfect. And so it's just like
True. Yeah.
Don't try. Yeah, I mean it's just you're going to get there's going to be a software update at some point.
Patch it, release it.
It's just accepted.
So talk a bit about Innovate Hampton Roads and the work that you guys do over there here locally. What's the core mission?
Yeah, I mean it's so weird, bizarre how everything first started. We no kidding first started. It was a website with a calendar, a consolidated calendar. That was it. Because we didn't know what the game board even looked like. Who was doing what, where, when, and how. So like we just like, what if we just had a site where we put all of the events on one place, and like that allowed us to understand what the chessboard looked like. Then we added a news feature. So if you have a press release or announcements you want to make about your company, then we would push that out. Or if there's opportunities that you could participate in this competition, or this is a funding opportunity, we would push that out on the other side. And we just kept on building that way. And little did we know that we used to be turned into be the storyteller for the region. And so now, our whole goal is let's pick up a company from the very beginning and follow their path as they progress. And then we keep on telling that story, because one of the challenges that we have, the overarching problem, is the fact that nobody knows what Hampton Roads is. A lot of people know, they've heard of Virginia Beach, they've heard of Norfolk, Newport News, or Hampton, but the thing is that they're all populations of 150,000 people. Well, there's 350. You're competing against 350 other cities that are that size, whereas Hampton Roads were 1.8 million, and there's only 35 or 36 areas that are of that size. So we can compete much better and tell our story much better if we all pool everybody together. And we need that, because when it comes to raising money, we have check writers that can write checks for a pre-seed, seed, and up to a Series A. But after that, the checks become much, much bigger. The stakes become much, much higher. And nobody knows who Hampton Roads is, let alone the companies that we're producing. And so therefore the investors they're not confident that they're going to get the return on their investment that they're looking for.
Sure. So
we want to showcase the companies that we have and say, hey, this is an area you need to pay attention to. This is an area you need to bet on. And that's our goal, man.
Okay. What are some of the things that we can do to help further that mission, would you say, as a region?
Yeah, well, one, everyone is invited. Yeah, I mean, everyone's invited to this party. But every company, as you know, they need customers, they need to generate revenue, they need introductions, they need help in terms of maybe they need a co-founder, maybe they need developers, but it takes all of us to help one another. And so that is one way. And then just be connecting with us and sharing some of the stories. I mean, it's somewhat cliche, but you got to give before you get. And the thing that made Silicon Valley, man, is the sharing of information, the sharing of the deal flow, helping each other, and watching each other grow. And eventually it's going to lift everybody up. And that's what we got to do.
True. Yeah, I definitely see that there's room to grow as far as everybody understanding that we're all in this together and
Yeah.
we're all each other's greatest ally, even if we're in separate
And it's hard to
companies.
see. It's hard to
Yeah.
see. Like, man, what if I can't introduce this founder to that investor, because what if that investor invests in them and doesn't invest in me? Well,
Mm-hmm.
the reality of it may be is that this investor doesn't fit, you don't fit that person's investment thesis.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's so much to it that,
Right.
whereas if you just help each
Just
other,
help.
it's going to come back. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
benefit you.
Yeah, and I think I've traveled a little bit here, and I see that in other areas they seem to have solved that problem
Mm-hmm.
more so than ours. And I don't know why here feels we feel that energy of, maybe it is the illusion of lack that creates that, with everything feeling so separate, between the different cities and the peninsula
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It feels like,
And that's why we look at everything from a holistic standpoint. We are one region. We are 5 founders, 4 founders, and we're doing this as one. Yeah, and it's like, and that's really a big part of the messaging that I tell a lot of local leaders. Is like, dude, entrepreneurs don't care what city they're in,
Mhm.
and they will get in the car and they will drive to Richmond. They'll
Right.
go from Williamsburg to Virginia Beach or wherever. They're going to go wherever success is going to find them and welcome them. And they we have to leave all that individual locality stuff alone, man. That's the checkers that I'm talking about. That
Right.
we got to play chess.
Okay. Yeah, I always think of events as playing a crucial role in that. Get the word out there, get everybody together. And I feel like, events are a great play that we could, do to
Yeah,
help with that.
I mean, I'm collared up today because I had to do a talk this morning, and that was one of the things. I was like, if you're planning an event, just go to our calendar and see if there's another event taking place at the same time
Mm,
and the same day.
true.
I was like, dude, we can't have that.
Mhm.
We need to create density, and
Mhm.
creating dense events that are filled with people.
Right.
That's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
But if we have multiple events taking place on the same day at different locations, we're forcing people to choose on where they want to go, and that doesn't benefit anybody.
Hmm. Yeah, get everybody's logo on the flyer.
Yeah,
And
I
let's
mean,
get
it's
it
just
together.
that's 100%.
So speaking of events, you guys did the Startup World Cup
Yeah.
last year. That was awesome. I know this is a traveling thing. It was a interesting coincidence. The startup house that I moved into in Birmingham,
Uh huh.
the day that I got there, they had just won their Startup World Cup.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, they had the trophy, had the check
Yeah.
in the house, and I was like, wow, like this is meant to be here.
Yeah, that's wild.
I had just volunteered helping you guys, and then I left like the next weekend, and they had the day before I got there, they had did
Wow.
it there and won. So how did you guys get that opportunity to be the host of that?
So I credit that to some initial success or some success indicators that we're doing what we need to do.
Mhm.
So when Pegasus Tech Ventures, when they're looking to see where they need to do these events, they reached out to me.
Oh wow.
They did a search and they're like, man, we need this to happen. This person seems to be connected in Virginia and Hampton Roads. There's a lot of stuff that's going on, and so they reached out to me, and so that was
came in.
LinkedIn, yeah.
Wow.
And so I was smart enough or dumb enough to say yes. I mean, as you know, man, that was a push with a lot of moving parts.
Mhm.
But dude,
A little chaotic, but we nailed it.
well, and shout out to IV Watch, man. They took 3rd place in the world, dude. So
Right,
the Virginia
right.
winner went on to be number 3 overall. That's awesome.
Yep. And so we're doing that again this year.
2025, yeah.
Nice. That's exciting.
Still locking down all the details in terms of dates and locations and whatnot. But I mean, the feedback that we received back was like, it was the best set of companies we've ever seen on one stage.
Mhm.
It was the best event that we had ever been to, and that they're going to use our playbook in terms of what they can do.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Wow.
we left an impression on them.
Man, congratulations.
Well, thank you for your help.
Oh
Man.
yeah,
That was,
yeah. So we're gonna be doing it for years to come.
Yeah. So we need everybody to step up and show what we have going on, because that's what's going to take.
Mm-hmm. So, is there anything else you want to get into before we? Because I know we're.
Dude, I could talk about this stuff all
Really?
day. I appreciate you having me and appreciate your time.
No.
It's always super fun, and keep doing what you're doing, man.
Dude, thank you for everything that you do.
For sure.
You know, you're definitely a mentor, a leader here. In the
I learn from you
area.
just as much as you may learn from me. So I guess I'll end on that, man. Never stop learning. As soon as you stop learning, that's when you start dying.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I try to take away everything I can from anyone in every situation, man. So I appreciate all you're doing.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for watching. And you heard it here first. Never stop learning. Keep growing in everything that you're doing. Builders out there, keep building. And like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you again. We'll see you guys next time.
Awesome.
Peace.
Thanks.